What's good, guys? I'm back with another video. Today's video is going to be centered around how you can charge more with your mentorship. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, topic of this video is why do some mentors charge 10 times more than you? So, we're going to be uncovering the real reason behind the premium pricing that's happening in the mentorship space right now. Okay, so first to get into it, I just want to introduce myself in case you don't know who I am. So my name is Zawa Koza, high ticket mentorship funnel architect. That's what some people call me. But yeah, basically what I do is I help coaches and mentors build and scale ultra high ticket mentorship programs, turning their knowledge into premium offers that attract serious buyers and generate life-changing income. So if you're a coach or mentor who's tired of undercharging and over delivering, you're in the right place. And yeah, I've done over $1 million in revenue for my clients, somewhere along those lines. I don't know the exact number, just to be honest with you. And yeah, man, the results speak for themselves. These are real numbers, real clients, and real income that you see here. So here's a look behind the scenes of some of the results we've had. If I zoom in here, you can kind of see our open rate with our emails, one of our clients, 50% open rate. We can see 10K in 30 days here, 80K here, just some little payouts, just some small money. And yeah, 100K there, almost 10K cash collected in 5 days with the client, 7.5K cash collected in 3 days. And yeah, 90K there, 100K there. Just so you can see what I'm about and you can see that I actually know that I'm talking about. Okay. So the main thing I want to dive into right now is the two types of mentors. So there's a $500 mentor, same niche as you, same promise as you, and there's a $5,000 mentor, which is the same niche and the same promise. And I actually have a question for you. Why is it that one mentor actually charges $500 and another one charges $500 for what looks like basically the same thing? And this is where a lot of people mess up because most people think that more followers, more experience, and more testimonials equals, charging more. But the real answer is actually that none of those things determine how much people are willing to pay you. And in this video, I'm going to break down the real reason why mentors charge 5 to 10 times more than you without being smarter and without having more followers and without working harder than you. So, I like to call this the trap, as you can see here, and this is where most mentors get stuck. So, this is basically the trap. I like to call it the vicious cycle as well. So, there's the hesitation, being afraid to commit to a higher price. You might be charging 1,000 and you're scared to charge 5,000 or 6,000. And then from the hesitation, we get to the undercharging. You want to lower your prices just so you can feel safe, just so people can buy. You want to charge what you're comfortable charging. So that's what happens. And then the next thing is, now that you're undercharging and your price is low, you're going to be attracting bad clients. You're going to be attracting low commitment buyers. And then what happens when you get those bad clients is you get burnouts because you're going to be working a lot more and you're going to be underpaid because you're not charging as much as you should. And then the next thing is going to be overthinking. You're going to be, paralyzed by pricing decisions, and then the cycle continues. You're going to hesitate to increase the price because, you're afraid. You're afraid. So yeah, it's not really a skill issue. It's a positioning issue. So the trap is basically the cycle where every mentor gets trapped. They know that they can help people, they've gotten results, and maybe they've made money themselves. But when it comes to pricing, they panic. So this is what most people do. They lower their price, and lowering your price feels safe because you think more people will buy. But what actually happens is you attract people that don't value your time, you have people who don't execute, and you have people that need constant reassurance and support, and you get people who blame you for for their lack of action. So your mentorship becomes a low paying customer service job basically, and that's the issue. So I want to dive into the consequences and what actually happens when you charge low. So when you charge low, there's this thing that happens. I like to call it the downward chain. And here you can see it basically. So it starts off with the low price, and you're going to be making less money with that low price as well. And with the low price comes a low perception, because if something's cheap, people have a very low perception of it. And you can apply this in any context. If you think about cars, even you think of a Toyota, people have a low perception of a Toyota because it's a cheap car. And if you look at another brand, let's say Ferrari, people have a high perception of Ferrari because Ferrari is a very, very, very expensive brand. And that's the type of perception people are going to have of you. People aren't going to see you as a Ferrari. People will see you as a Toyota instead. And when you have low perception, you're going to attract low quality clients. And we already went through what happens when you get low quality clients. You end up overworking and you're being underpaid. And something else that happens is more work. That's what happens when you attract low quality clients. And when you have more work, you're going to end up burning yourself out for a business that isn't reaping the rewards you'd like it to reap. You're basically going to be working more for less. So these are the main consequences, and low pricing doesn't just affect your income, it affects everything because people associate price with value. And let me give you the psychology of low pricing. So clients subconsciously assume that it's less valuable because it's cheaper. And when they do this, they take less action because they don't see the value in the product. And what they do is they procrastinate and they half commit. They don't put in the work that they need to put in terms of the program. They don't join all the calls and everything. And it is just bad for you and it's bad for them. And you end up overworking, trying to compensate for the lack of hard work that your students are putting in. And the real problem is so many mentors burn out thinking they need more clients, but what they actually need is better positioning. And I'm going to dive into that further. And yeah, the main thing that I want to go into right now is the false belief and the lie that you've been told by the entire industry as a whole. And I want to bust that myth right now. The lie is I need more results to charge more. But that couldn't even be further from the truth. The truth is that you need better positioning to actually charge more. Because pricing isn't determined purely by experience, it's determined by perceived value, perceived certainty, and perceived transformation, which I'm going to dive into right now. And yeah, another thing that I want to kind of clear up, which is a big lie in the info space, is that people think you need more results before you can actually charge more. Because clients aren't buying information, you're not buying your credentials, they're not buying your years of experience. What clients are actually buying is confidence. Confidence is the belief that it will actually work. Speed, a faster path to results, clarity, which is a clear roadmap of exactly what they need to do and where they're going to be, and belief, which is the most important one, of course. So yeah, that's literally it. And things aren't always as they seem in the info space. People think that information equals value, but raw information alone does not command premium pricing. Perception is what equals to value. How your offer is framed and positioned will determine how much people pay. So what actually determines your price? What actually determines your price are the three pillars. Excuse my spelling mistake, I forgot to edit that out. But yeah, the main thing that determines your pricing are outcome. So that's how big is the transformation, certainty, which is how likely does it feel to work, and perception, how valuable does it look. These three pillars, not experience alone, are what actually determine how much you can charge for your mentorship. So the first section is outcome. So you can have like a 1K result, which is a small transformation, but limited value. And if you really think about it, if you're promising a 1K transformation to someone's business, sure, it's valuable because 1K is some money, but it's not the type of result that demands you to charge 5K, 6K, 7K, 8K, or even 10K for a mentorship. But on the other hand, we have a 100K result. A 100K result is a business changing transformation of massive value. 100K can significantly change someone's life. And do you see how big the transformation is from that 1K compared to that 100K? And yeah, that's it. The first thing that determines pricing is outcome. If your outcome helps someone make an extra $1,000, that's valuable, but it's limited. But a transformational outcome is something that helps someone completely change their business. And when you help someone completely change the business, their value skyrockets. And this is where most mentors mess up. They sell features instead of a huge transformation. And the second section is certainty. So most people fall into the confused offer section where their offer is vague, unclear, and feels risky. But to charge more, you need a clear path that is structured, step by step, and feels safe so people can actually buy. And yeah, why structure matters is structured offers feel safer, and safer offers can charge more because when a client sees the exact path from where they are to where they want to be, the price resistance drops dramatically because they know what they're getting in the program. And the certainty equation is more certainty equals more willingness to pay. Your job is not just to deliver results, but is to make them believe that they will get results before they even start. And if we can even apply this in real life, if you think about, for example, Harvard, people will take out hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of loans to get a Harvard degree because they have that certainty of once they have a Harvard degree, they can easily get a job. And that's why Harvard can charge so much and people will still pay it anyway because that Harvard degree brings that certainty. And your program should bring that level of certainty as well so that you can charge more. And the third and most important section, obviously, is perception. So most people have a messy offer, which is disorganized and clear and has a low perceived value. But what you need to have is a polished system that is structured, premium, with a high perceived value. So perception. The main part of perception is how you communicate. So that's the language you use, the confidence in your delivery, and the clarity of your message. In all and everything must signal premium position. The second thing, of course, is how you explain. So a well explained offer feels more valuable than a vague one, even if the underlying content is identical. How you explain something changes the way people perceive it. And the third thing is how it's structured. So the architecture of your offer, how it's packaged and presented, and yeah, that basically changes the perceived value dramatically of how people see it. So this diagram kind of shows you how the three pillars work together. This is what determines pricing, not experience alone. And you can see how the outcome, the certainty, and the perception interlink all together to give your program a more premium look and to make it seem more valuable. So the next thing that I want to shift into is the low ticket versus the high ticket mentors. So a low ticket mentor is someone giving random advice, no structure, DM me, bro, cheap pricing, and sells access. But a high ticket mentor is a mentor with a clear system, step by step path, positioned offer, premium pricing, and sells transformation. You can see the differences in the tones here. A low ticket creator is selling information, and a high ticket creator is selling transformation. So yeah, that's basically how it is. Low ticket mentors usually sell access, high ticket mentors sell systems. One feels random and the other one feels engineered. So why clients pay more is clients pay more when they believe that there's a structured path to the outcome, not just motivation or random information, but an actual roadmap that they can use to visualize as to where they're actually going. And the engineered feeling is when your offer feels engineered, like it was designed specifically to get a specific result, it commands a premium price that random advice never will. So yeah, there's gonna be chaos with the low ticket creator, just random, unstructured, and low value perception with the high ticket creator, the high ticket program, sorry, there's going to be clarity. It's going to be structured, engineered, and it's going to have a premium perception. So another thing that a lot of people really miss is the missing piece, which I like to call the open loop. So this is basically how people usually have their mentorship structured. It's your offer, your secret framework, and you're supposed to get high ticket clients. But there's actually a specific way to structure this, and most people get this part completely wrong. So the open loop. Now, obviously, there's a very specific way to structure your offer to increase its perceived value and to remove price resistance and to position your mentorship as premium. But what most people think is charging more is about adding more to your mentorship. So adding more calls, adding more resources, adding more bonuses. But that couldn't even be further from the truth. The real answer is actually about positioning better. But that's too deep to fully break down into one YouTube video, but the principle is clear. Less can be more if it's positioned correctly. So, what should you do next now that you have all this information and you have this new insight? So, I'd like you to follow what I've just set up here for you, which I like to call the fixed flow. So, that's fixed positioning. You need to stop competing on credentials alone. You need to increase your perception and make your offer look and feel premium. And from there, you will be able to charge more and attract better clients who actually execute. So, if you're currently undercharging or struggling to get premium clients, stop focusing only on getting better and start focusing on positioning yourself better. And I want to give you just some core insights. Your offer is not just competing on results, it's competing on perception. A mentor who communicates value better wins. That's how it's been, and that's how it will always be, regardless of who has more experience. And this is the shift you need. You need to shift from how do I get better results to justify my price, and you need to switch to how can I position my existing results to command a higher premium. And yeah, these are basically the next steps that you can take if you'd actually like to take action and charge more. So there are two paths forward. The first one is on Instagram, obviously. You can follow me there. I'll have the link in the description below. And you can just get some breakdowns on how to structure high ticket offers, position mentorships correctly, and attract premium buyers. If you have any questions or anything as well, you can just DM me there or comment on one of my videos. Or alternatively, which is better, you can actually book a one-on-one call with me and get help on fixing your offer directly. So we're going to review your current offer. We're going to find what's holding you back. And we're going to map out exactly how we can make your program look premium, because you don't need more experience. You need better positioning. And I break these topics down deeper on my Instagram, where I show off how to structure high ticket programs, position mentorships properly, and actually attract premium buyers. So 100% go follow me there. So yeah, the two things you can do right now is just follow me on Instagram. You can hit me up and we can chop it up and I can give you the help that you need. And the second thing, if you're really, really, really serious about charging more for your mentorship and scaling to multiple 5 figures or even 6 figures a month, then you can book a call and then see where you're going wrong, and I can see where I can help. And yeah, that's it. And the one thing I want to leave you with this video is people don't pay more because you know more. People pay more because they believe more. Now, please, I urge you, make sure you took notes on this. Make sure you take action on this today, because yeah, the mentorship space is moving and you either need to get with the times or get left behind. And that's it for me. So yeah, before I leave, make sure you follow me on IG. If you'd like to scale your mentorship or you need help scaling, you can book a call in the link below. And that's it for me. I'll chat to you soon.